There was a time when I thought I needed all of these things, but now I don't even miss them. Today, I'm sharing what I stopped buying and why it feels surprisingly peaceful. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am sharing some things that I have personally stopped buying. These are things that either no longer align with my lifestyle, they didn't work for me, or I just realized they are things that I just don't really need. So let's jump right in. The first product that I am not going to buy is the bloom powder. And it's kind of been all over my feed. I have seen it basically with influencers, and pretty much it's been the most trendy, I guess, wellness product that you've probably heard of. If you haven't heard of it, you've maybe seen it on the shelves at stores or anything. And I've never tried Bloom myself, but I have kind of thought about it, and I had to stop myself and really think. The truth is that I realized that I don't need to be chasing wellness with products just because they're popular. With that, I don't want to chase products that are claiming to be healthier, claiming to be like good for wellness, and I'm just going to focus on what I personally know is good for wellness, with it, which is more whole foods, not eating out as much, basic like habits like working out. If you're new to my channel, I love exercise and working out and just being in tune with your body, and hydration. And I'm not to say that they're bad, like this supplement or product or like powder is bad, and they might work for some people, but I'm just not gonna spend my money on something like that unless I absolutely really need it. I would rather focus on just eating more vegetables. So the next one is seasonal home decor. So I know. Seasonal home decor is like super, like I love it, honestly. And I still do have lots of boxes. So I have some boxes for seasonal decor like Christmas, and I have some for a little bit of Thanksgiving and Halloween. Things that kind of I have collected over the years. I've had most of those things for like 5 or 6 years. I've had my Christmas tree for like 6 or 7 years, and I just kind of enjoy them. I love those items. They bring me joy when I pull them out of the box and I get ready for the holiday season. But I've kind of made this decision not to add any more to those, to my kind of collection, I would say. I don't live in a huge house or a huge apartment, and I have space for the amount that I currently have. So if I did decide to get any more in the future, I, have made this thing where I'd like to get rid of some of those things or be in a space that would allow for it. This way, I'm not like constantly adding to that clutter or constantly accumulating more stuff. I'm not saying to get rid of them or to not consume them or anything like that, but I know that I already love the items that I have. I already love the decor that I have, and it's just for me about being more mindful and having space to show the items that I love. So the next category is heels, and that's just because I don't wear them. I'm gonna be honest. I have never been that girl that wears heels. I've never been somebody who finds a great pair of heels and like wears them to work. I've never really worn them to any function unless like absolutely have to. Maybe I could wear them to a party, but for me, truthfully, I think I have one pair of heels that are just a classic pair of black heels that I'm going to wear if I need it for an event, like a wedding or anything like that. I always generally reach for flip-flops, flats, or sneakers. I'm a huge sneaker girl. I like being in comfortable clothing. I like to, just be more relaxed. I like to be put together, but I'm not super like, I don't need heels, if that makes sense. I've just never gravitated towards them. And I've kind of finally accepted that I don't need to keep buying stuff for a version of me that doesn't exist. Okay, so the next category is makeup. And I am telling myself, this is for future me as well, because I've struggled with this so much in my past. I would go into Sephora and just spend ridiculous amounts of money, and like for products that, one, I didn't even research. They were kind of like, I was watching a lot of beauty influencers and I was influenced by what they were wearing, and I thought it was so pretty, so I would go into Sephora and I would buy it just to kind of maybe fill that void or also work on my self-confidence. But honestly, over the years, I've realized that for me personally, less makeup is more. I do enjoy wearing some makeup, but I like wearing a lot less. I used to consume a lot, like I said, of makeup gurus where they had huge elaborate like collections of makeup, and I wanted that at first. I was like, wow, that is so cool. Look at it just looks like a little store. And as I got older, I realized that is not like reality. When I do my simple makeup routine, it takes me like 15 minutes in the morning. And that's what I like. I like that it's quick. I like that it's easy. I like that I'm not sitting there and like taking my time with everything. Now, there's nothing against people who enjoy doing that, but for me personally, I don't want to spend an hour on my makeup. And on top of that, I'm not going to use all these products that are just sitting in my kind of drawers. It feels kind of heavy, it creates clutter in my space, and like I said, a lot of it goes unused. And honestly, makeup has an expiration date. I know a lot of people say or think that it doesn't, but those products that they use in makeup do expire. So it's like, if I'm buying all these items, I can't use them, and then they go expired, to me, that's wasting my money. So the next category is gonna be high-end shampoos and conditioners. Now, hear me out. The only reason I added this in here is because they personally do not work for me. I have been that girl, like I said, with Sephora and just like going to Ulta. I used to spend ridiculous amounts of money on shampoo and conditioner. I would even put them on my wish list for Christmas, and my significant other would go in and purchase these items, and what I have found is they never worked for me. Now, I'm not here to say I'm an expert with hair care or an expert with anything when it comes to shampoos, but for me, they just don't work. And it doesn't matter if they are $30, it doesn't matter if they're $60. I've tried so many different ones and they just all end up feeling the same. But for me, it's realizing that these higher priced items, that this could go for hair products and makeup, it doesn't always mean that it's better performance. And I know that for makeup, and I know that for even skincare or hair care. Now I'm just kind of focusing on that basic affordable shampoo that kind of just works for me. Okay, so the next category is going to be phone upgrades. Not every year, not anymore. So I used to fall victim to this, where I would see the new iPhone coming out and all the new features and everything, and I was like, oh, I need it. I want it. It has a better camera. It has a cooler, little apps, and it has just a few little add-ons to it. And I don't do that anymore. I think I have an iPhone 15, which is kind of a newer one, and I've kind of got suckered in. But before that, I had the iPhone 11. So I waited a long time, iPhone 11 or 12. I waited a while before upgrading. And I think that's the biggest thing. Just realizing that these upgrades are just to make more money for the company. And I understand it, especially with technology. Technology is changing so fast, but it's realizing that what I currently have, unless it's broken, works great. My current phone works great. My current camera works great on my phone. And I don't need the latest camera on my phone or slightly faster phone. I can just keep what I have. It's not broken, it doesn't need fixed. It also keeps me out of that constant upgrade cycle. We are conditioned to constantly upgrade, constantly achieve, and get the next best thing. We see it, like I said, we see it with cars. Every year they're coming up with a brand new car and a brand new model and new features. I think, like I said before, I think it's this constant need to fit in and constantly need to show the world that, hey, I'm successful, so I'm gonna drive this brand new car with all these features, or this brand new luxury item with all these new features. And it's like, at the end of the day, when we can realize, like, just appreciating what we have currently is the best thing, and just having gratitude for those items. Okay, so the next thing is scented candles. Okay, so this one is hard for me because I personally love candles. I used to buy them every time Bath and Body Works had a sale. I would go in there and buy like 5 or 6, sometimes more, and I would just kind of put them in the closet. I'm like, oh, the holiday season's coming up. I need like 10 candles for the holiday season. And I've kind of just narrowed it down to having one favorite scent, or one scent that I like. I do just personally like the Anthropology candle. So I know a lot of people love that candle, but that personally, to me, I love that candle. I've loved that candle for years, and I just continue to repurchase it when that candle goes out. Usually that candle, I usually get it around the sale time. It's like $30 to $40 sometimes, which is pretty pricey for a candle. But for me personally, it lasts the whole year. So instead of buying all of these different scents, and these scents that I think would go with the theme or the holiday time in my house, I just pick one scent that I like, and I kind of stick to it because I know it smells good. It makes me happy. And with too many different scents, sometimes I know that for me personally, I'll go into a store, I will smell that candle, and let me know if this happens to you. I will think it smells good, and then I will bring it home, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like that smell. It doesn't smell good when I burn it, or like have the candle in my house. So for me personally, like, I just pick one scent, and I kind of have a tried and true. Okay, so the last items that I no longer buy are designer items with logos. So for me, I do not want to be a billboard. I do not want to be a way that they can advertise on me. So I do resell clothing items. As my little side business or my side hustle. So I love finding good quality pieces. And I don't think logos are inherently bad. Some people really genuinely love them. I know Louis Vuitton is a very well loved logo. I know the Chanel logo. There's a lot of logos out there, and I know they're really loved. I don't need a logo to feel confident or stylish in my own item. I'd rather invest in pieces that are timeless and they feel like me. I was very fortunate when I was thrifting one time to find a Veronica Beard cardigan, and I might show a little clip of it in here. I was so excited because that is a quality piece. There are no logos. It is very timeless piece, and it looks beautiful with a lot of outfits. And that is important to me, not something to wear something to prove something. I want to feel good for me. I don't want to put on this persona for somebody else to be like, wow, she has it all together. So yeah, those are some of the things I'm not spending my money on anymore. And it's not to be perfect or want to have less in my life. I want to have more intention with my life and live with more intention. I've realized that saying no to things definitely makes room for what actually matters: clarity, feeling calm, and contentment. I think that is a big one, and just having gratitude for the things that I have already in my life, and trying to stop chasing for these perfect aesthetics. Maybe this video gave you something to think about, maybe it helped you, and also maybe it gave you a different point of view. So like, if you're feeling some of these things, you can feel like you're not alone. What is something that you no longer buy? If you loved any of these things on my list, that's okay, no judgment. I'd still love to know and hear your point of view. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!